tennis club. Thirdly, and perhaps most importantly, the rancor that existed between Isla Mirada and Key Largo over the wastewater issue was very strong last summer. I led with Susie Hamaker a joint meeting which calmed that rancor and put us on a road to reaching an agreement for them to treat our wastewater. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes round 2. For round 3, we start with seat 3, and the question is number 5. And the question goes to Mr. Linza. Number 5. Elaborate on your approach to the environment through such methods such as waste management, recycling, water use, etc.
I think the village has come a long way in the past couple of years. Recycling now, where it's you dump it all in the recycling bin and you don't have to sort it out. That's made it much easier. When it comes to reuse, we have had a pipe in the ground from North Plantation Key to this very park now for years that we paid well over $1 million for one reason or another. First it was saltwater intrusion, then it was the volume was too low. I don't know what we've got the 250,000 gallon tank sitting there for. I thought that was to provide a buffer for the water so that we could shoot it down here. I don't think that option was fully explored before we spent all that money. I still think there are some questions that need to be asked about spraying the reuse water on our fields and the greenery here at the park as far as complying with federal mandates for that. Water conservation measures, I think, would be enhanced if after thorough objective analysis the people in Isla Mirada were allowed to put in on-site systems, because with a $600 UV light that sterilizes the effluent, that water that would be safe to wash boats, cars. If your house was plumbed properly, you could flush your toilets with it, and definitely irrigate your landscaping. So many people put so much Aqueduct Authority water on the ground and those tasks that I think it would be well advised to look at that option.
Thank you. Mr. Phillipson?
Could you repeat the question, please?
Elaborate on your approach to the environment through such methods such as waste management, recycling, water use, etc.
I think we've done a pretty good job in recycling, like everyone else on this table says, but I think that our promotion on the recycling lacks. Our recycling agent, Viola, was supposed to come up with promotions and advertising to get us all excited about recycling, and I haven't seen anything. So I think in the next bid process, we need to go back and ask them to do a better job as far as getting the promotion for recycling out there. We personally recycle, and it saves me about 1 can a week. And if everyone did it, that would be good for not only the environment, but good for your pocketbook as well. As far as reuse, I've been a fan of reuse, and I would encourage Key Largo, because they're going to get all of our wastewater, to, when the technology is there, to certainly go to reuse and possibly be selling that water to the Aqueduct Authority. Thank you.
Thank you. Seat 4, question 4 for Ms. Gillis. When there are community disagreements over major issues, how would you decide what is best for our community?
In any disagreement, there's always 2 sides to it, and it's important to find out what the sides are saying and to evaluate that out, to reach out and find out if it's lack of information, if it's just opposite points of view, and to figure out a compromise between the groups. I think we've been trying very hard on the council to work on that. When I first got on council, I was one of them that said it's time to talk to Key Largo. Everybody wants to go to Key Largo. Key Largo would like to talk to us, so it's important to do that. That was a major disagreement in the village, and I think a lot of people wanted us to do that, and we did that. I think there's other things that we're working on that are to solve a compromise. You just need to review everybody's point of view and come to a compromise. Both sides have to give and take and figure out the right way to do things. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Johnson?
Thank you. Key Largo is not a compromise without funding. It's a $187 million project without funding. So the voices of the citizens really weren't heard there, and it wasn't really the way to proceed. We need a lot of things in this village. We need a user-friendly staff, and a staff that really responds to people and treats people like customers in a business and not like an inconvenience or an afterthought. The bubbles that we have within the village, for instance, in the workshops, when we have an encircled staff that takes an hour or 2 hours simply to lobby the council with very little public input, or while the public sits there and looks at the backs of the heads of the staff, I have a big problem with that one. The biggest thing, though, is that what we've avoided, and it's a serious issue, is referendums on serious issues. And we have definitely avoided that. If we wanted to go forward with on-site systems versus going to Key Largo, let's have a referendum. Let's let the people decide. If we want to go forward and spend all of our own money on a central sewer system, let's have a referendum on that. These are big money projects, and I think that whether you're talking about stormwater or wastewater, whenever you get anything that's critical, we need to let the people decide and listen to their voices.
Thank you. Seat 1, Mr. Atchenberg. Question 6. When we have resolved our wastewater issues, what do you see as the next important community project to move our village forward?
I would like to see our village come together after wastewater is over as a harmonious community, something that can be achieved through a variety of methods, one of which is community character. What I would like to see us do is reflect the pride that we have in our community in a tangible fashion with the design of our buildings, with improvement in our parks. We have a beautiful park here, but there are other areas in the community that can be enhanced. I think that, as has been said previously, stormwater is a big issue. I agree with Mr. Johnson. The debt is always an issue. Debt should be addressed and should be paid down as quickly and as ably as we possibly can. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Bates?
Thank you. By far, I would agree that fiscal responsibility. After we complete this wastewater, we're already bankrupt. We don't have the funds to maintain what we have. My candidacy brings positive change to Isla Mirada politics. We have high taxes, no transparency, unemployment, the unfunded sewer fiasco, and a runaway manager, including Hazen and Sawyer, which is a premier engineering firm, which we pay. Their corporate, they get a cut, their regional get a cut, the engineers down get a cut. I've gone through the last 4 years of Hazen and Sawyer bills, and they are outrageous. We need to support our fixed income people. We need to stop taxing you for bad leadership and bad management. So bringing this community together, fiscal responsibility, maintaining our parks and services, streamlining our government, productivity, something as a businessman I'm very in love with. And this is going to involve a lot of hard works, rolling up the sleeves, and doing your homework prepared before you come to a council meeting. You got this man to do that. Thank you.
Thank you. For seat 2, Ms. Zimaborski, question number 1. Please address the choice of a central versus on-site treatment method as a method of meeting required wastewater standards, and what proposals you have to address the problem of treating our wastewater.
In 1999, the county was handed this mandate of meeting advanced